Hello and welcome to the abridged version of Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Olajide Bello. Remember, you can watch our broadcast on our social media handles displayed on your screen for update. Moving on, as electorate in Edo State prepare to elect a new governor this Saturday, President Bola Tinubu has called on all stakeholders in the upcoming Edo governorship elections to conduct themselves peacefully and sportingly. In a statement by the Presidential Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, the President implores the governorship candidates, political parties and supporters to respect the democratic process and the people's will. President Tinubu expresses belief in the voters' ability to make informed decisions about their future leaders, while emphasizing that democracy thrives on civility, tolerance, patience and respect for the rules of the game. He notes that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has committed to conducting a free and fair election and urges all stakeholders to work together to ensure a successful and peaceful process. The President commends the governorship candidates and the political parties for their campaigns, which have focused on issues that matter most to the people of Edo State, including improving livelihoods, promoting economic growth, and contributing to the national development. President Tinubu also expresses unwavering confidence in the professionalism and the integrity of security agencies and INEC officials, urging them to remain impartial and avoid any actions that could compromise the integrity of the electoral process. The House of Representatives is to engage the Minister of Education on how to strengthen the federal character principles in the recruitment process and addressing infrastructure gap in federal universities. This re-echoed during the visit of the Committee on University Education to Bayero University, Kano, and other in the Northwest National Assembly. Correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Of the revenue streams to the Federation account and case of domineering in the recruitment process remain the source of concern in most of the federal universities.
And we have the details of those various infrastructural projects where you spent over 1 billion. The institution did not provide the breakdown of the overhead costs for the meaningful appraisal. So please, you have to work on that.
When are you planning to do your next recruitment? So the last recruitment, which to me, it didn't follow the federal character.
After all these service charges, it is now what is known from that sense that is considered as a revenue, and it is from that is actually deducted the remittance to the federal government. So this is an issue that we are always battling with, that definitely most of what is accrued is spent almost on the student before the end of the session.
The interface between the committee and management of the Federal University Dusima, Kaduna State was put off due to the absence of the Vice Chancellor. The oversight engagement at ABU Zaria was also cut short.
The interface is called off, and the management of ABU hereby summoned to appear before the committee at a date to be announced later.
The oversight visit also took members to the newly upgraded Federal Colleges of Education in Zaria and Kano. The new management were told to follow due process in recruitment and internally generated revenue spendings. Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
37 federal universities and 7 teaching hospitals are slated to be connected with the solar mini grid to address challenge of power supply. Joshua Jitu reports that the 16 universities and the 2 teaching hospitals are already benefiting with phase 3 of the project set to commence.
The solar connection for federal universities and teaching hospitals is being implemented under the Energizing Education program funded by the federal government in partnership with donor agencies through the Nigeria Electrification Project. Following the success story of Phase 1 and 2 of the project, plans are underway to commence Phase 3. In view of this, the Rural Electrification Agency engaged universities that have already benefited from the solar mini-grids and agreed that, in the interest of sustainability of the project, universities should take ownership.
by investing in energy infrastructure and ensuring that all educational institutions have access to reliable and affordable electricity, we can create a brighter future for our nation.
In each university, we provide the hybrid mini-grid. We improve the distribution infrastructure to ensure connectivity between the mini-grid and the main grid. We also upgrade a number of substations. We have also done 100% metering in all these universities, and at the same time also deployed a SCADA system.
These assets in those universities do not only represent power for those universities. It also represents a step towards more energy efficient institutions.
This very project has come at the right time. I cannot emphasize how important it is.
The coming of this project, for me, is already a relief to us.
The Energizing Education program also covers establishment of training centers for students. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
And time now to join Jennifer in Lagos for a continuation of Nationwide. Jennifer.
Now, giving credence to the success stories of past collaborations which aided the interception of drugs and illicit substances, the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal of the Nigerian Customs Service says it will continue to deepen its partnership in the quest to safeguarding the nation's borders while maintaining public orderliness. The Customs Area Controller, Joy Edeldoc, said this while handing over close to 52 kilograms of cannabis indica worth 260 million naira to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Michael Olaleye reports that 3 suspects were arrested in connection with the items.
Laying quietly and idle within the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal is this 40-foot container with more details showing 4 imported vehicles. But 100% physical examination by both the Customs and the NDLEA gave shocking revelation, which they credited to intelligence reports. About 52 kilograms of cannabis indica imported from Canada were concealed in the compartment of 2 vehicles out of the 4.
Yes. Initially, there was just one of them who came for the inspection, but when he was detained, he now called the other 2. Incidentally, one of the suspects, his name is on the consignment. So, to the best of our knowledge, he is the importer of this container.
While handing over the illicit substances to the NDLEA, the controller said the command's interest is fueled by the negative impact of drugs on the society, warning intended smugglers to have a change of mind.
Who may be contemplating testing the resolve of the Nigerian Customs Service, let it be known that we are unwavering in our duty to protect the integrity of our borders, and we will not hesitate to bring those involved in illegal importation to justice.
For the interest of national interest of this country, we'll continue to work together to rid our country of drugs and drugs abuse.
The Kirikiri Lighter Terminal also used the platform to emphasize its readiness to facilitate legitimate trade. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
And to telecommunication, adoption of emerging technologies that guarantee high-speed internet penetration will not just help Nigeria keep pace with the rest of the world, but also accelerate its mileage in the digital economy. Part of measures to actualize this is efforts being made by the telecommunication industry in Nigeria to embrace 6G spectrum for more efficiency. Joel Pupola reports that experts believe Nigeria will reap enormous benefits from the upgrading.
Just as data is life, internet is the oxygen required for the digital economy to survive. And with the present spectrum for Wi-Fi already saturated, it is now time to migrate to the more robust Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz. This gathering of industry experts and the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) is to think outside the box to hasten the adoption of Wi-Fi 6 and other emerging technologies. Amidst the growing demand for improvement, NCC is open to leverage on Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz to create more opportunities in the sector. The NCC Executive Vice Chairman Aminu Meida, who was represented, is confident that Wi-Fi 6 will be an enabler of Nigeria's digital economy.
With the introduction of a new Wi-Fi frequency and license, you'll be able to have additional 500 megahertz. It's a huge capacity. You'll be able to use applications such as virtual reality, augmented reality. Before now, the size of spectrum that was available will not carry those.
For Atiku Lawal, acting head of Space Unit Spectrum Administration Department at NCC and other industry players, Wi-Fi 6 is inevitable to cope with the expansion of the telecom industry.
It's like opening up more spectrum space for connectivity between devices, device-to-device connection, and we'll also open it up for the IMT.
Keen into it is for policies to be put in place that will enable the right investment climate into that sector, into our sector rather, and encourage local participation in the industry.
With more than 70 countries already upscaling to Wi-Fi 6 gigahertz, experts say Nigeria cannot afford to be left behind, calling for all to be proactive in meeting up with the trend. In Lagos, Joel Okbola, NTA News.
Now, those are the stories from Lagos at this hour. Back to Olajide Bello in Abuja for more. Jide, over to you.
Thanks for being there. The National Orientation Agency is to commence sensitization campaign in flood-prone communities across the country. This is coming on the heels of warning by the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency an anticipated release of water from Lagdo Dam. The Director General of National Orientation Agency, Larry Issa Onilu, noted that the agency cannot wait for the flood before creating awareness on the inherent danger of living along waterways, hence the imperative of proactive measures to forestall likely damages. The Deputy Director, Press, Noah Paul Gang, says state directorates in the 11 frontline states are to mobilize personnel to commence ward-to-ward sensitization on safety measures, emergency contact, floodplain maps, and possible impact points, among others. States on the high alert are Kogi, Nasarawa, Adamawa, Taraba, Benue, Anambra, Bayelsa, and Delta State. And the federal government has dispelled what it described as disinformation by an online news medium that the Goronyo Dam in Sokoto State is on the verge of collapse. The Minister of State for Water and Sanitation, Bello Muhammad Goronyo, refutes the claim during an on-the-spot assessment visit to the dam site. Dalhatu Abdullahi has the report.
Goronyo Dam, which impounds River Lima, was completed in 1984 for flood control and provision of sufficient water for irrigation activities along the downstream of the facility through Sokoto and Kebbi states. Its reservoir has the capacity to store 942 million cubic meters of water and 288 meters depth with 10 kilometers length. The collapse of its spillway in 2010 necessitated the federal government to commit more resources for its rehabilitation. The recent online report about the imminent collapse of Goronyo Dam facility necessitated urgent assessment visit to the site by Minister of State Water and Sanitation Bello Muhammad Goronyo, who was received and was conducted round by Engineer Abdullahi Kathina. Minister of State Water and Sanitation Bello Muhammad Goronyo stated that the ministry was disturbed by the fabricated report, hence its rush to assess the situation. While condemning the report as untrue, the minister challenged media practitioners, including bloggers, to be accurate in their reportage to avoid throwing people into unnecessary panic.
The essence of my visit is to look at the dam and then assess the capacity of the dam and issue of the dam.
The Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration, the minister maintains, is committed to ensuring protection of water bodies across the country for the safety of Nigerians and the socio-economic development of the country. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Now let's join Salamatu in Kaduna for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Olajide, and welcome to Kaduna. The armed forces shall continue to stand vigilant, united and strong, defending our nation and upholding the values that our fallen heroes fought and died for. Haruna Muhammad reports that these are the words of Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa, stated this at the commissioning ceremony of the 41st Regular Course Memory Park at the Nigerian Defense Academy, Afaka, Kaduna.
The memory park situated at the Nigerian Defense Academy is in memory of Course 41 regular corps whom have served and those who died on active duty. Among is 11 of their Navy course mates who died in honor on training on these very boats. Having inaugurated the memorial park, the special guest of honor and the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa represented, assured the cadets that the profession they chose as a career is a noble cause and their sacrifices will never be in vain. He also acknowledged Course 41 regular course of the academy while reiterating the armed forces stand to pay any price, be a burden and oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of Nigeria and defend its territorial integrity as well as its interest. He described the project as a testament that unites as comrades in arms, adding that the fallen heroes are remembered and honored.
This is going to be expanded further into a big memorial park so that their children and grandchildren can always come here and remember the sacrifices that their parents, brothers, and loved ones did in the service of the nation.
I can only call on everybody, people of goodwill, to support the armed forces of Nigeria, to remember that the armed forces and security services draw legitimacy for their mission and their work from popular support of the population. And together, we can make our country a safer and a better place.
While the project is situated at the very crash site of late Air Commodore Gabriel Ochai, whom was on a flying mission to motivate cadets, the 41 regular course assured that the project will be sustained as a symbol that promotes courage, resilience, and a devotion of the armed forces. From the Nigerian Defense Academy, I am Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
Kaduna State Government has received several awards for its efforts in peace building and support for education. Muhammad Umar Ajingi reports that among the commendations received is an award from the United Arab Emirates, recognizing the state as the leading subnational in citizen engagement through the innovative Ears and Eyes application, which enables the citizen to track government's projects.
A group of students are here to honor the governor of Kaduna State for his support in the education sector. Among them is this SS2 student of Government Secondary School Kajuru who had a particular passion for architecture, and today was his moment as he presented his architectural project to the governor, a symbol of his aspiration to become a professional architect in the future, which the governor is highly optimistic about. The students, including the physically challenged, presented different awards to the governor.
He is really keen on ensuring that he continues this initiative and make it a priority for, the most privileged children of Kaduna State. And that being in mind, we have seen the progress. We have seen the impact on the children.
Peace Icon Africa, an organization that focuses on promoting harmony and security across Africa, had also been observing the governor's efforts from afar.
We have seen what he's doing through the Feed Me program. We decided to list him among those who we believe have contributed to peace and security in Nigeria. Because the essence of all this thing is when you train a child or you educate a child, you go and sleep.
The governor's effort didn't go unnoticed on the international stage either. The United Arab Emirates recognized Kaduna State as one of the subnational leading in citizen engagement.
Kaduna State government was awarded amongst 40 participating entities. Kaduna came first, and of course we got this award. It is being run under an application called the City Feed application, which is citizen feedback application.
The stakeholders said it is now clear that both at home and abroad, the governor's efforts are creating waves of positive change that is making positive impact on the lives of the citizens of Kaduna. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Umarajingi, NTA News.
And those are the stories from Kaduna. Let's rejoin Olajide Bello in our Abuja studios. Good evening.
Many thanks, Salamatu, and let's join Olumide Guntola with sports update.
Nigeria's female national rugby league team is on the verge of qualifying for the World Cup after defeating their counterpart from Kenya 22-14 in the team's first ever Women's World Cup qualifier. The second leg comes up in Nairobi on Sunday to decide the country that will represent the continent in the inaugural 2025 World Series. In football, Nigeria's Super Eagles came forward to continue their good runs in the 2025 AFCON qualifier with a double header against Libya next month. Although the search for the team's head is still on, there are indications that Bruno Labbadia will lead the Eagles after the German coach posted on his social media handle, "New chapter," accompanied by the Nigerian flag. He was to have led the Super Eagles in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers against Benin Republic and Rwanda before NFF announced the breakdown of agreements over who will be responsible for the payment of taxes in Nigeria and Germany. From the continental scene, Nigeria's reigning league champions Enugu Rangers coach Fidelis Ilechukwu has declared the clash with Sagrada Esperanca in CAF Champions League as a cup final with the mindset of consolidating on the first leg victory. Rangers takes a 1-0 lead into the match slated for Sunday in Luanda, Angola. A win for the Nigerian team will guarantee a ticket for the group stage of the competition. In the CAF Confederations Cup, Nigeria's representative, Enyimba Football Club of Aba, is targeting victory against Etoile Filante of Burkina Faso on Sunday in Uyo. Enyimba got an away point in the first leg encounter that ended goalless and will be relying on improved tactics and home support to silence the visitors. And in boxing, Nigeria's Anthony Joshua will attempt to become three-time heavyweight champion on Saturday as he takes on Daniel Dubois for the IBF World Heavyweight Boxing title at Wembley. With Sports Update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And just before we go, Edo Decide Studio will open shortly. Many thanks for being a part of our brief version of Nationwide. I am Olajide Bello.